touches avatzuma, let's say clothing or food that touches avatzuma becomes rishon l'tzuma, first stage of impurity. And rishon l'tzuma touches something else. Let's say it touches food, so the food could become, or touches a person, so it could become a sheni l'tzuma. Or it touches truma, let's say it touches truma, the truma becomes sheni l'tzuma. That's sort of where it ends, midoraisa. Midrabanan, they added that sheni l'tzuma that touches truma, that makes the truma shlishi l'tzuma, and the shlishi l'tzuma has to be destroyed. But it doesn't go past that. A shlishi l'tzuma of truma that touches other truma doesn't make anything happen to that. However, in Kadshim, they added revi l'tzuma. So if a shlishi l'tzuma, third degree of impurity, touches of a carbon, touches another carbon, that carbon also gets destroyed, becomes pasul. So when we say it got to like the end of the line, that's called pasul. When we say there's still more that it could do, it could ruin the next stage too, that's called tameh. So now, Amar Ula said, now we're starting on Lamed Aleph Beis, Ha'ochel shlishi shel chulin shenasu al taras truma. Someone eats a shlishi. So now normally there's only shlishi and truma. There's no such thing as shlishi and chulin. But it was chulin that he ate, but it's chulin that he's treating as if it's truma. This is a stringency. He's treating the chulin, he's a kohen, and he's worried that he'll get confused, as we saw yesterday. He'll get confused between his chulin and his truma, so he wants to make sure everything's good. He's treating his chulin as if it is truma. So he ate a shlishi. So now a new chiddush. Nifsal gufo. Normally a shlishi can't do anything to the next stage. But someone who eats a shlishi has the status of a shlishi, not in regards to what he touches, but in regards to eating. Nifsal gufo milecho b'truma. His body's become disqualified from eating truma. So the Gemara asks, "My kamash malan. What's the chiddush?" Tanina, we learned it in the Mishnah that we were discussing earlier, of the views of Rabbi Yoshua. We said there, somebody who eats a shlishi becomes a sheni l'kodesh, becomes a sheni in regards to karbanos. They ain't sheni l'truma, but he doesn't become a sheni in regards to truma. And this is b'chulin shenasu al taras truma. This is if somebody eats chulin that are being treated as if they have to be as pure as truma. They're being treated as truma. It was a shlishi of such chulin. So if he eats it, he becomes a sheni for kodesh, but he doesn't become a sheni for truma. So listen to what it said. He doesn't become a sheni for truma. So sheni udu lo havi. He doesn't become a sheni for truma. Implying what does he become? A shlishi for truma. Shlishi havi. He becomes a shlishi for truma. So that's the same law of Ula. The law of Ula is that if somebody eats a shlishi of truma, he now can't eat truma because he's like a shlishi for truma. Isn't that the Mishnah? The Mishnah says that if somebody eats a shlishi of chulin shenasu al taras truma, he becomes a sheni for kodesh, but he doesn't become a sheni for truma. Sounding like he doesn't become a sheni, he becomes a shlishi. He becomes a shlishi, that means he can't eat it. He can't eat further truma. So isn't it already from the Mishnah? Answers the Gemara. If we would have had that Mishnah, I would have said no. Havamina would have said no. It says there that if a person eats a sheni of chulin shenasu al taras truma, he eats a shlishi. It said there, he eats a shlishi of chulin shenasu al taras truma. He eats a shlishi of chulin that were being treated as if they're truma. He becomes a sheni for kodesh, but he doesn't become a sheni for truma. I would have thought it means he doesn't become anything for truma. Havamina lo sheni havi, doesn't become a sheni, but lo shlishi havi, doesn't become a shlishi either. That's why I need Ula to tell me that if he eats a shlishi of chulin shenas al taras truma, he becomes disqualified from eating truma. Why would I have said that? If that's the case, the Mishnah there should have said, if I'm reading the Mishnah saying that if he eats a shlishi of chulin shenas al taras truma, he doesn't become anything in regards to truma. It should have said that. So the reason why it doesn't say that is because it wants to tell you about kodesh. Since it says that if somebody eats a shlishi of chulin shenas al taras truma, he becomes a sheni for karbanos. So therefore it says, but not for truma. It really means not anything for truma. That's why Amar Nami ain't sheni b'truma. But I would have thought it's really nothing in regards to truma. Kamashman, that's why I Ula's chiddush. Ula's novelty is to say, if somebody eats shlishi, third degree impurity of items that are really secular, but are being treated as if they're truma, okay, it doesn't make him into a sheni, doesn't really make him able to transmit impurity further, but it makes him into a shlishi, and that means that nobody can put truma into his mouth. He can't eat truma. That's why I needed ula. Okay.
So how does he cure it, Rabbi? He has to do paraduma.
You have to go to the mikveh. You have to go to the mikveh.
Mikveh, paraduma.
No, it doesn't mean paraduma. It's not Thomas Mace. Go to the mikveh.
Could be Kohen or non-Kohen. The same rules?
Yeah.
All right.
Rav Hamnuna le'ula. Rav Hamnuna challenged ula from a Mishnah in Taros. Mishnah says, if you have food that touches an avatzuma, it becomes a rishon. So rishon shebechulin, when you have a rishon of tumah, of profane matters, of non-holy matters, it itself is tameh, obviously. But not only that, it's mitameh. What it touches, namely the sheni, has the ability to make other things wrong. So what it touches is mitameh. Now sheni, but something which is a sheni l'tumah, what it touches is not going to be able to make other things ruined. It'll just ruin the next thing. It'll just ruin the thing it touches. It'll ruin stage 3, but not stage 3 can't make 4. So sheni posa. Sheni can ruin truma. If it touches truma, it ruined the truma, stage 3. But it doesn't have the ability to create tumah. Then says the Mishnah further, hashlishi. Let's say you have a shlishi l'tumah. Now, how could you have a shlishi l'tumah in chulin? How could chulin ever be a shlishi l'tumah? It stops with sheni l'tumah. The answer is if it's chulin that are being treated as if they are truma. So chulin that are being eaten. Al taras truma. Chulin that are being eaten as if we're keeping the standards of truma here. So therefore a shlishi, something which touched it, now a sheni touches it, it becomes a shlishi. So if it's a shlishi, nechal b'nizid adema, it can be eaten with a cooked dish, nizid. Remember Esav, nizid adashim. Nizid adema, that was from the term timua, a nizid, a cooked dish that has truma mixed into it. Right? So let's say you have a shlishi. This shlishi is chulin shenas al taras truma. It's a shlishi l'tumah. It touches some sheni l'tumah. It became a shlishi l'tumah. You could put in some spices of truma. Now it's got a mixture. It's got truma in it also. And you could eat it. Because since it's only chulin shenasu al taras truma, so the chulin is a level of shlishi. Shlishi can't ruin things further. Truma doesn't become revi. Truma becomes a shlishi. So you can eat the chulin, which is a shlishi, together with truma. Now 1 second. I think everybody should have a question. If you're going to say Ula's point that nifsal gufu milecho b'truma, that someone who eats a shlishi l'tumah, his body now can't eat any truma. So I understand. Safina le'midi depazale legufei. Are we going to stuff him with something which his body can't take? We're saying to this guy, you have your chalent, which is a shlishi l'tumah. Okay, you can put in some basil spices of truma. I don't understand. Yeah, the basil spices, the little leaves, they don't become tameh because the shlishi can't ruin the next level. But the moment the guy starts eating the beans of the chalent, he's eating a shlishi, his body, you said, is disqualified. And now his body's going to eat the leaves, the basil leaves of truma. His body, how can you tell him to do that? It must be that Ula's wrong. That if somebody eats a shlishi of tumah, it doesn't mess up the body. Right? That's what it seems. Ula's wrong. Amarle. So, Rav Ula responded to Rav Hamnuna. He said to him, it's not a question, that Mishnah. Leave aside the issue of a chalent that you mix into it some spices of truma. Why? Now starting today's daf. The leka kezayis b'kdei achilas pras. Because there you don't have an olive worth within half a loaf. So what is this? He's saying like this. Midoraisa, there's no such thing as shlishi l'tumah. This is all a drabanan construct. So Ula added a drabanan construct. He said that a person who eats a shlishi l'tumah, the body now is disqualified from eating truma. So why would there be such a gzeira? Because we're saying, if there isn't such a gzeira, maybe a person will really be tamei midoraisa. He'll eat, I don't know, a rishon l'tumah. He's really tamei midoraisa, and he's going to eat truma, and then he'd get lashes. So anytime there's a little bit of tumah to the body, we say, okay, don't eat truma. You can't eat truma. Now, the prohibition of eating truma when you're tamei is to eat a kazayas. Eat an olive worth, otherwise you don't get lashes. So if you'd have a mixture, it would have to be that you got to an olive worth of the prohibited matter within the amount of time that it takes to eat half a loaf of bread, which is the amount of time it has to be a meal. La halacha, some say it's 9 minutes. That's a stricter view. Some would say it's like 2 minutes. So, since in this case, there's just some truma spices, you're not going to get a kizayas, you're not going to get an olive worth of truma within the amount of time of eating half a loaf. Therefore, there's no possibility of possibly getting malkos in such a case. And therefore, they didn't make the stringency over here. So now, Rashi asks, I still don't understand, but it's chatzi shir, right? Chatzi shir is also aser min haTorah. So the answer that they give in terms of the issue of chatzi shir, I saw here, it's that chatzi shir, there's no punishment, right? And so here, this is really a tumah midrabanan. Right? Midrabanan, somebody who's eating something is considered tameh. So it's a tumah midrabanan. They didn't impose it in a situation like this, where it's only chatzi shir isser. So that's the bottom line answer. So Ula says, if somebody eats a shlishi, his body now is disqualified from eating truma. This is all a rabbinic construct. The Mishnah said that you could even have a food which is a shlishi. You could add into it some truma. How could you add into it some truma? It's talking about a particular dish. It's a dish where what you add is very minimal. Since what you add is very minimal, the amount of truma here is less than a kazayas. Since it's less than an olive worth, we're not dealing with, anything that could go really that badly. It's less than a shear, and therefore they didn't make this prohibition, this rabbinic prohibition.
But once it's a shalishi, you have to burn it. So how could they add to it and then all of a sudden
you'd have to burn truma, which is a shlishi. The chullin was a shlishi. Then you put the truma in.
Oh.
So the shlishi can't transmit further. It can't do anything to the truma. Our question was, okay, so it can't do anything to the truma, but the person, Ula says, the person is disqualified from eating truma. So that we say, no, he's disqualified from eating truma of a kazayas. That's what Ula meant. Less than a kazayas, it's not such a problem.
So they made a loophole here.
A loophole, or they better define things? Better define things.
You can also explain it.
Yeah, please.
Rashi also decides, he says that it can also be a shlishi of regular food. And because that's the end, that's what he gets out of the chatzi shiur, because he's got an issue with that. So he says it's a shlishi of food, and that's the way you can explain it. And then you added a spice that is truma. You're supposed to get out the truma, because you're adding truma to it.
Right.
But because there's not enough in there for lashes, you can eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that the chullin is al-tarat truma, because if it's al-tarat truma, you shouldn't have done it from the beginning.
Okay, it's just regular chullin, not chullin al-tarat
that's
truma. Okay, nice. Yeah.
It also works well with the words. Because it doesn't say anywhere that it's
right. Nearly to b'chulin greda kairesha the b'chulin harishin sheb'chulin. Right. So my regular chullin. Good. All right. Next sugya. A law similar to the law of Ula. Again, Ula's law is that. Just read the words again of Ula. Ula said, "Ha'ochel shlishi shel chulin shenasu al taras truma." someone who's eating chulin, but it's not regular chulin. It's chulin that are being treated as truma. And these chulin are shlishi l'tumah. So nifsal gufu milecha b'truma. So now his body cannot eat truma, a rabbinic law. All right, that's what Ula said. Am Rabbi Yochanan, Am Rabbi. Now Rabbi Yona's son says the name of Rabbi, similar law. Ochel shlishi shel truma atzma. He ate a shlishi l'tumah, not of chulin that are being treated as truma, but a shlishi of truma itself. So you have truma, and the truma touched the sheni l'tumah, it becomes a shlishi. So now if he eats a shlishi of truma itself, asur lechol. Now he's not allowed to eat any tahar truma, but mutar. He's allowed to touch tahar truma. So that's similar to Ula's law, but there's a difference, right? One is talking about truma, one is talking about chulin that are treated like truma. So that's the Gemara. We needed both laws. V'yitzrich to Ula, v'yitzrich to Rabbi Yona's son. We need the law of Ula, we need the law of Rabbi Yona's son. V'yimi the Ula, had we only had the law of Ula, Havamina would have thought to say, when does Ula say his law? Hani milu b'chulin shenasu al ta'aras truma. That's true with chulin that are being treated as truma. Avol truma, but if you eat a shlishi of truma, because in truma itself you have a concept of shlishi. So if you ate a shlishi of truma, that messes up the eater so much that even if you would touch things, it would ruin them. He's not allowed to touch truma anymore. It's just Rabbi Yonasan. That's why I need Rabbi Yonasan to tell me that even when he eats truma, which is a shlishi, he can touch truma. He just can't eat truma. Rabbi Yonasan, if I would have had Rabbi Yonasan, who would said his law about truma, which is a shlishi, I would have thought to say, Hani mili truma. This is only true about truma. Avol chulin, but if he eats chulin, which were nasu al taras truma, chulin that are being treated as truma, which are a shlishi, then even he could eat truma. Afilu ba'achila nami shari. I would think he could even eat, because he's just eating chulin, and in chulin you really don't have a concept of shlishi. That's why tzrichi, I needed both lessons.
And if he violates, he gets
rabbinic,
lashes?
not biblical lashes, rabbinic lashes, makas mardos.
We don't have that much.
No, they're worse. Biblical lashes, there's a limit of only 39. Rabbinic lashes, there's no limit.
No limit?
No limit. Exactly. The discretion of the rabbis to break the rebellious spirit. Makas mardos, the hitting of the rebel.
And they have no Rahmanis, Rabbi. They go.
Oh, they have a lot of Rahmanis. Rabbis have a lot of Rahmanis.
Yeah.
A lot of Rahmanis.
Thank God.
Remember that thing.
A lot of compassion. And, they always hire someone who's weak to give the lashes. Shouldn't hurt. Shouldn't hurt too much. Okay, we are on the middle now on Lamed Hey Amud Aleph. Yosef, Rav Yitzchak bar Shmuel bar Marta. Rav Yitzchak, the son of Shmuel, the son of Marta, was sitting Kamed Rav Nachman, in front of Rav Nachman. The Yosef Kamar, he was sitting and saying the following: Ha'ochel shlishi shel chulin shenasu al taras hakodesh. The same case as Ula. Somebody eats chulin, which is being treated as if it is more than chulin, but not that it's being treated as truma. It's being treated as kodesh. It's being treated as karbanos, and it is a shlishi. Now, in kachim, a shlishi is worse than it is in truma. In kachim, a shlishi ruins the thing it touches. In kachim, a shlishi is tummy. It's not just puzzle. So he's eating chulin that are being treated as kodesh, and these chulin have touched a sheni l'tumah. So ochel shlishi shel chulin. He's eating a shlishi, third degree of impurity, of chulin, of profane. Shenasu al taras hakodesh, that are being treated as if they are karbanos. So even though he ate it, tar lechol bakodesh, he's allowed to eat karbanos. There's a difference here. Amazing. Right? Normally, kachim are more stricter than chulin, than truma, much stricter. We said if he's eating truma, which is a shlishi, if he eats chulin that are being treated as truma that are a shlishi, he can't eat truma. Okay, that's true about truma. It's not true about karbanos. If somebody eats, this is according to Rav Yitzchak bar Shmuel bar Marta, somebody eats chulin that are being treated as a karban, that are a shlishi, tzar lechol bakodesh. He's now still allowed to eat karbanos. She'ein lecha davar she'osa revi bakodesh. There's no such thing as something making a revi'i in Kodesh. Ela Kodesh Mekudash Bulvad. Only if it's Kodesh with Kedushas Haguf. Kodesh with Kedushas Haguf. So this idea of Revi, as I mentioned earlier, is only a din d'Rabbanan. So Chachamim made this gzeira that in Karbanos a Shlishi can make a Revi, and even that only if something was Kadosh B'Kedushas Haguf. In other words, full holiness. That takes us back to Menachos. Remember, in Menachos we had someone who makes a pledge, then it only has the holiness of the mouth. Put into a klishare, such a holy vessel, becomes Kadosh B'Kedushas Haguf. You bring the animal in, it's only holy by the mouth. Once it's slaughtered, then it becomes holy, intrinsically holy. Kadosh B'Kedushas Haguf. It's only things that are holy B'Kedushas Haguf that have the ability to make problems of Revi. So therefore, here's a guy, a person, he's eating a shlishi, so he doesn't become disqualified for Kodesh. This is the Chiddush of Rav Yitzchak Bar Shmuel Bar Marta that he said in front of Rav Nachman. Masav Rami Bar Chama. So Rami Bar Chama challenged this. Rabbi Yeshua says that if somebody eats a shlishi from chulin shenasu al taras truma sheni lekodesh, now he, the person who ate the shlishi, becomes a sheni in regards to karbanos, but ain't sheni letruma. He didn't become a sheni for truma when he ate a shlishi of what? Of chulin shenasu al taras truma, of sheni of chulin that were made with the holiness of truma. But if you're right, amai, why you'd have such a law? Why is he a sheni for kodesh? Halav kodesh mikudeshu. He's not eating a shlishi from a karban that has intrinsic holiness. You're saying only a shlishi in that which has intrinsic holiness can make further problems. He's eating a shlishi of chulin that are being treated as truma, and yet it's making problems for kodesh. He becomes a sheni for kodesh. Amrle, so he said to him, no, you're not understanding that sugya. Hanach l'truma. Put aside chulin that are being treated as truma. Again, what was the case there? It was chulin that are being treated as truma that are a shlishi. Because in truma, tarasa tumahi etzel hakodesh. I mentioned that in Maseches Chagiga we learn that there are different systems of tumah. There is a system of tumah for truma. There's a system of tumah for kachim. There's a system of tumah for paraduma. There's a system of tumah for chulin. There's a system of tumah for chulin shenasu al taras truma. There's a system of tumah for chulin shenasu al taras hakodesh. These are really different systems of tumah. So, for example, we learned in Chagiga that, for paraduma, it's not enough to wash your hands. For truma, you wash your hands. Hands are sheni, you wash them. Netilas yadayim, now you can eat truma. For paraduma, it's not enough to wash your hands. You have to put the hands into a mikvah. You have to do tvila with the hands. Different systems of tumah. We had revi'i in kodesh. That's where it stops. Paraduma goes further. In truma, it stops at shlishi. There are different systems of tumah. So, one of the aspects of the fact there are different systems is bigdei amaretz, the garments of amaratzin, are considered medris. They're considered avatuma in regards to prushim, in regards to people who eat chulin al taras hakodesh. And bigdei prushin, the garments of prushin, are considered avatuma in regards to people who are actually eating kachim, or people that are handling paraduma. So, watching to avoid the tumah of truma is not enough in regards to the tumah that would impact kachim. So therefore, says the Gemara, that's the answer here. Because he's eating chulin shenasu al taras truma, that's why it's worse than were he to be eating a karban, were he to be eating chulin shenasu al taras hakodesh. Because hanach l'truma, put truma aside, shetarasa tumahi eitzel hakodesh. to be tahor for truma means that you're tameh in regards to kodesh. So if you have something which is a shlishi in regards to chulin, shenas, or taras truma, that means it's considered a sheni in regards to kachim, because the amount of care that a person does to watch himself from impurity in regards to truma is not equal to the amount of care that a person invests to watch himself from tumah in regards to kachim. So because he's eating chulin, shenas, or taras truma, so he's treating it as if it's very pure, as if it's the purity enough for truma, and it was a shlishi in that realm. Yeah, but a shlishi in the realm of chulin, shenas, or taras truma is a sheni in the realm of chulin, in the realm of kachim, and therefore he becomes a sheni, and it ruins him. Umina temra. Now, how do I know to say this idea that the fact that it was being watched as truma makes it worse in regards for kachim than if something would be watched as kachim? It's not, because we learned in the Mishnah. Big day Aretz. The garments of an Aretz, medris leprushim. They are considered an avatuma. Now they say that it was pure. They say they didn't make it tummy, but they don't really watch themselves. They're not careful. So for prushim is even less than what I said. It's ochlin chulin b'tahara. Prushim are people who eat their chulin in a state of purity. They have to treat these garments as an avatuma. Big day prushin, the garments of people who eat chulin in a state of purity, are medjus or an avatuma lo'ochlei truma, to people who eat truma. Big day ochlei truma, the garments of people who eat truma, are medjus l'kodesh, are considered an avatuma in regards to people who are eating karbanos. Amar Rava said, one second, that's not really comparable. Amar Rava said, midrasos kamarta, when you're talking about medjus is the tumah that's born when somebody sits on something, right? So let's say a zav or a nida sits on a chair, sits on a bed. The bed or the chair become an avatuma, medris hazav, medris hanida. So Amar Rava said, midrasos kamarta, you're talking about medris. Shani midrashos, medris is different. Now turning to Laman Haven Beis. Shema teshav alein ishto nida. What's the issue? The issue in all these cases is that the Aretz, he doesn't really watch himself. So, yeah, he says it's all pure. But maybe his wife, when she was in Nida, which is happening every month for half the month, his wife, when she was in Nida, she sat on his garment. And therefore, it became Avatuma. Mm-hmm. So the Talmud Chacham, he has to be careful, because maybe this is Avatuma already. The person who's a Kohen has to be careful when it gets stuff from who's eating kachim, has to be careful the one who gets things from the person who's eating truma, because maybe the wife sat on it. Avol b'peri, but in our case, we're not talking about garments. We're talking about food. So we're saying food that's being watched as truma, that became a shlishi l'tuma. Why should we say that food that's being watched is going to be already more tummy in regards to kachim? Why? Avol b'peri lo, but in fruits we shouldn't say such a thing. Lo, I mean, we shouldn't say this. And Rabbi Yitzchak will tell you no. Nami Amar, the same way we said in regards to clothing, that the clothing that's being washed for truma is still considered tamei in regards to kachim. Fruits that were being washed for truma are considered more tamei in regards to kachim. So therefore, when you have chulin that are being washed as truma and they became a shlishi in regards to kachim, they're already a sheni. They're even worse.
So, Rabbi, a person that becomes a tamei, his garments that he's wearing becomes tamei too? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they could be a rishon. They could even be a medris. They could even be considered an avatuma midrabanan. Rabbinically, they're considered an avatuma because we suspected his wife, when she was in Nida, sat on them.
Right, correct. But even if he eats the shelushi, the truma, still his clothing becomes
no, they're
tamei
not.
too?
Then his clothing wouldn't be impacted.
It would not be.
No, that's just that he would be disqualified from eating truma, we said.
Rabbi, in the times of Gemara, was it neither half a month or just the days? Just the 7 days, 6 days, 7 days?
We're going to get to it soon. We're going to get very complicated. We get to Maseches Nida. Something to look forward to. Lots of charts.
No, because you mentioned half a month.
Yes. Well, it depended when the bleeding came. if the bleeding came during the days of Nida, it was 7 days. But if the bleeding came during the days of Zava, then if she was a Zava Gedola, it was at least 10 days. Sometimes it could be more, but at least 10 days. Depends when during the month there was the bleeding. So now Rav Yirmiyah challenges Rav Yitzchak. Massive Rav Yirmiyah Medifti. Rav Yirmiyah Medifti challenged this. Mi amina beperi. Do we say that when you're watching fruit of truma in regards to kachim, it's still tameh because it wasn't watched enough? But it's not. But we learned in a Mishnah in Chagiga. And Amaretz is believed to say that wine that is planning to be used from the Beis Hamikdash is still tahar. He's not believed when he says that wine that's truma is still tahar. But if he said about his barrel of wine, if Rashi l'socha revius kodesh, it's a barrel of truma wine, but I put into it a revius of wine for nesachim. Neman, since he's believed about the kodesh wine, he's believed about the truma. You're saying he shouldn't be believed. You're saying that he doesn't watch truma as well as he watches kodesh. If he's watching truma, it's still tamei for kodesh. So we say not. Apparently we don't say lo rinan. We don't say v'lo kametamale truma lekodesh. We don't say that the fact that there's wine that's being watched as truma means that it's tamei for kodesh and therefore it disqualifies the kodesh. V'amart, if you're going to say tarasa tumi yetzel kodesh, the purity of truma still means that it's tamei in regards to kodesh. So the tamei truma lekodesh. So let the truma wine defile the kodesh wine that's put into it. And they said, no, that's not comparable. There you're talking about a barrel that has everything all together. Yeah. So a barrel with everything all together. Shiny. Since you have in this kodesh wine and you have in it truma wine, since he's believed about the kodesh, he's also believed about the truma. But in what I'm talking about, when there is food which is a shlishi in chulin shenasu al taras truma, so it's only nasu al taras truma. It's not taras kodesh. So since kodesh requires more, it's already considered a sheni in regards to kodesh. The person eating it becomes a sheni. Basa Rav Huna bar Nasan challenged Rav Yitzchak. Another Mishnah in Taros. We learned in Taros, hasheni shebechulin, second degree tuma in chulin. Metami mashke chulin. If it touches a liquid of chulin, it resets the liquid of chulin to being a rishon. Again, this is all din d'Rabbanan. Uposel ochlei truma, and it would ruin people who are eating truma. Vashlishi, and a shlishi in chulin. Talking about again chulin shenasu al taras hatruma. Metami mashke kodesh. It would make a liquid of karbanos, of kochim, into a rishon. Uposel ochle kodesh. And if people ate it and they want to eat karbanos, they're now disqualified from eating karbanos. And this is in chulin shenasu al taras hakodesh. So you see, unlike Rav Yitzchak, what did Rav Yitzchak say? Rav Yitzchak said only a shlishi of a karban that's kadosh b'kedushas haguf, a karban that's holy with intrinsic holiness, can ruin a person and transmit tumah further in karbanos. Here you see that a shlishi of chulin shenasu al taras truma can cause a problem in regards to karbanos. So one says Rav Yitzchak will have to say it's a machlokas. Tanai, it's a machlokas tanaim. It's not as we did in a Mishnah. Chulin shenasu al taras kodesh, chulin that are being treated as kodesh. Harei hein kechulin. They just have the status of chulin. They don't even become a shlishi. They have the status of chulin. They become a sheni, not more than that. Rabbi Tzadok Omer, harei hein ketruma. Oh, they have the status of truma. L'tamei shnayim, v'lifsol echad. A rishon and a sheni of them are tamei. A shlishi of them is only possible. And that's the view of Rabbi Yitzchak. Rabbi Yitzchak goes like that chulin shenasu al taras hakodesh don't have the ability to get to a revi, they can only get to a shlishi, and that's what he said. Only a carbon itself can get to revi, but not chulin shenasu al taras hakodesh. So the bottom line is, when we talk about chulin shenasu al taras hakodesh, we have three different ideas. One idea is that it gets treated as kodesh, it can even become a revi. One idea is that it gets treated as truma. And one idea is that it gets treated as chulin. It can't even become a shlishi. It can only become a sheni.
Rabbi, I thought you said that after shlishi, that's it. This is the limit.
In truma. In Truma,
In
that's
Truma.
it. But in Kadshim, you go to fourth.
Over in
In Paraduma, you go to 5. The different
Ah.
systems.
Rabbi, if a liquid water becomes tamei, shlushi, and whatever
It
we
goes
wash,
back to being a Rishon. Liquid, we go back to being a Rishon.
whatever we wash from that, it becomes tamei too. That thing
Exactly.
becomes
Since
Rishon
the
and
liquid
Tumah.
becomes a Rishon, it can make things into a Sheni.
that sheni.
Okay, so now we move out of the laws of Tumah and Tahara, get back into the topic. I mean, not out of the laws of Tumah and Tahara, but we're back into the Mishnah at least. We're out of this concept of Sheni and Shlishi. So the Mishnah talked about a very unusual case. Mishnah says a person who shlechts a behema, a chaya, or an oaf, a domesticated animal, a wild animal, or a bird, and there's no blood. So then the Mishnah says it was a kosher shchita. Since there was no blood, the meat cannot become tummy. That's what we got into tummy. So you could eat the meat with hands that are a sheni l'tumah, because the meat was not mukhshar. In order for foods to become able to become tummy, they have to be willfully rinsed. Since this meat wasn't rinsed, the meat cannot become tummy. It doesn't have the ability to become impure. Okay, Rabbi Shimon disagrees. Rabbi Shimon says no. The shchita made it mukhshar l'kabel tumah. The shchita itself makes it able to become tameh, and therefore you can't eat it with hands that are a sheni l'tumah. So now we're going to discuss this view of Rabbi Shimon. So Amar Rav Asi said, Omer Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Shimon's idea is shchitaso machsheres v'lo dam. Shchita is what makes something able to become tameh, not blood is what makes it able to become tameh. And the logic is that since the shchita makes it kosher, makes it mutter ba'achila, it makes it into an ochel. Once it makes it into a food, it makes it able to become tameh. Whereas the blood is not going to be able to make it to become tameh. Says the Gemara, maybe we can bring a proof to Rav Asi from the Mishnah. The Mishnah said, Rabbi Shimon Omer, Rabbi Shimon says, they were made able to become tameh through the shchita. My lab isn't that saying the shchita v'lo b'dam. They became able to become tameh through the shchita and not through the blood. Says Gemara, look, that's not what it means. It's not necessarily a proof. It could mean after shchita. Rabbi Shimon is saying shchita also makes it able to become tameh. Maybe the blood also makes things able to become tameh. Okay, maybe Rav Asi is correct from the following. Tashma, come in here, prove from a brisa. Brisa says, "Amalam Rabbi Shimon." Rabbi Shimon says to the Chachamim, "V'chi adam machshir is the blood the thing that's making the food able to become tameh? Halo shchita machsheres. It's the shchita that's making it able to become tameh. So you see that the shchita is what's making it able to become tameh, and not the blood." Where it says no, hachi kamer lehen. This is what Rabbi Shimon said to the Chachamim. V'chi dam bilvad machshir is blood the only thing that can make it able to become tameh? Av shchita nami machsheres. Shchita also makes it able to become tameh, but not to say that shchita does and not blood. Tashma, come in here, proof from a Mishnah in Machshirin. Rabbi Shimon says in this Mishnah, Dama meis. Blood from an animal that just dropped dead. So it's blood from a dead carcass. The animal died on its own. Eino machshir. That blood, if it rinses a food, doesn't make the food able to become tameh. My lav implying dam of a dead animal doesn't make the food able to become tameh. Hadam shchita machshir. But the blood from the act of shchita does make things able to become tameh, unlike Rav Asi. Well, maybe not. Maybe when the Mishnah says dam ames doesn't make things able to become tameh, it means hadam chalalim, but blood of an animal that is killed by a person, that is able to make things able to become tameh, machshir, but not dam shchita. 1 second. Aval dam shchita mai. What do you think about dam shchita? Lo machshir. The blood of the act of shchita. That blood is not able to make things able to become tameh. So lishmeinan. So say that. Say that dam shchita is not able to make things tameh, and kol shekein dam ames. Certainly, the blood of an animal that's already dead wouldn't be able to make things tameh. So my answer is dam ames. It's bichole. I want to tell you about dam ames. I would have thought to say that in dam shchita it's not machshir because shchita is called chalala. It's not called chalala, it's called zvucha, right? Shchita is called v'zavachta, it's called zvicha. the verse that blood is a liquid is from the phrase "V'dam chalalim yishteh." V'dam chalalim yishteh. So I would have thought, to say, Mali katla iu, mali katla malachamavis. What's the difference between whether a person kills it, dam, which is dam halalim, or if the angel of death kills the animal, dam ameis? Either way, it's blood of a dead animal, and therefore it should be called dam halalim. Kamash, that's why I need Reb Shimon to tell me that no, dam halalim yishteh, that's blood. Dam chalalim yishteh, that's blood. But dam ameis, the blood of a dead animal, or dam shchita, which is dam zvachim, that's not called blood for machshirim. Tashma, maybe this is a proof we learned. Rabbi Shimon says dam agafasa, the blood of an animal coming out of a wound, eno machshir, that does not have the ability to make a food item able to become tameh. It's not called dam chalalim. My lab, but doesn't that imply a dam shchita machshir? But the blood that comes out from shchita is able to make things able to become tameh against Ravasi. Lo, that's not the implication. The implication was a dam chalalim machshir. But the blood of an animal who was killed, maybe its head was chopped off, it was shot. That's the blood that is able to be machshir based on the pasuk dam chalalim yishteh. 1 second, I will dam shchita mai lo machshir, but the dam of shchita, that's not machshir lishmi'inan. So tell us that dam shchita, and I would say if dam shchita is not able to be machshir, kol shekin dam agafasa, certainly blood from a wound is not able to be machshir. So my answer is dam agafasa yitzvichale. No, the chiddush is dam agafasa. So I would have thought to say malikat lakula, malikat lapalga. If there's something called dam chalalim, the blood of an animal killed, I'd say, if an animal is wounded, it's half killed. So half killed should also be called dam chalalim. That's why I have to say no. Half killed is not called dam chalalim. Dam chalalim means only dam chalalim. Umayshta dam chalalim demachshir. So understand this. Why is it that blood of a dead animal, blood of a slaughtered animal, blood of a wounded animal is not machshir, but blood of an animal that was killed, blood of an animal that's shot, blood of an animal whose head is chopped off, that blood is machshir? Oh, the answer is dichsiv because of the pasuk. The dam chalalim yishteh, and the blood of chalalim, of the killed, he's going to drink. So that's called dam chalalim. Ask them 1 second. But dam shchita namiksiv al artzish bechenu kamayim. But the Torah says about shchita, pour it on the floor like water. Pour the blood like water. So you see, it's like water. Water, it's a liquid. So the Gemara says, no, it doesn't mean that it's a liquid. That's to say that if you have an animal that was a carbon, gets a blemish, that you're allowed to benefit from its water. I would have thought to say, since the Psuda Muktashim, you're not allowed to shear the wool, you're not allowed to work them, their blood has to be buried and you can't get benefit from them. That's by saying, since the verse says that it's like water, it means you can get benefit, but not to say that it's able to be machshir, that it's able to make a food item able to become impure.